In this training session, we're going to look at event log filters and how we can add a filter from an event that we see in an event log. And in this case, we're going to pretend that there's an event that we're getting email alerts about. And let's go here to the system event log. I'm going to filter out informational events, and you can see here there's a lot of DNS client events. And let's just double click one of those. And here's the event. It says that the name resolution for a specific IP address failed. Now, Windows logs this as a warning event, but it's hardly really a warning that we want to get an email about. So let's take a look and see how can we easily exclude this event in case we are getting notifications about it. And there's two ways you can do that. You can either click the exclude this event button down here, which will bring up this dialog, or you can right click it and also select add exclude filter, which will bring up the same dialog. So this essentially lets us create a filter. Now, where do we put this filter? You can see here there is no way to add packages, so let's take a quick look, expand our event log packages here, and try to find a place where we can maybe put this filter. Because remember, every filter has to be part of a package that is then in turn assigned to one or more hosts. And let's take a look at Windows exclusions. Okay, there's a lot of common exclusions right here, so I think this would be a good spot for it. So let's go back here to our system event log, filter out the informational events, right click, add exclude. We're going to pick the Windows exclusions, and we're just going to call it DNS reverse lookup time out. Now, you can call this whatever you want. I would just recommend that you think about other people maybe looking at this, or maybe even you yourself looking at this a year later. So you definitely want to give those filters a descriptive name that makes sense. So when you browse through the list, you don't have to necessarily click it and to really figure out, okay, well, what is this trying to do? So we can see here that all the properties, we don't have to manually type them in anymore because we grabbed it directly from the system event log. So the log is already selected, the severity is already selected, event source, event ID, and even the username are all pre-populated. And in this particular case, if you click lookup, then we can see the template for this filter. And we can see that Windows logs this event and essentially dynamically just inserts the actual IP address for which the lookup, the name resolution, did not work. So it's definitely fair to just say, well, let's just exclude this event. It doesn't matter what the content is. We don't want to get this sent to our default email. To make this neat here, we can also click the package and say sort ascending. And now it's nicely ordered here in the list. And that's really how easy it is to just simply exclude an event. In some cases, you may have to create a new package and assign it, but that only takes a few seconds. And just to kind of drive this home a little bit, I'm going to also show how to create an include filter, which is really exactly the same thing. And in this particular case, let's see, we've got some events here, but you know what? Let's go and look at the application event log. This may be a little bit more interesting. Let's see what we have here. If the ARP daemon is telling us that it's listing on some interfaces. All right, here we have an event. And again, this is just an example. The EventSentry collector service is telling us that it has applied a new configuration. Let's pretend we want to know about this. We want to get an email about this. And we would click this button this time. But again, we need to make sure we have a package for this. So let's take a look and see, okay, there's no package about the EventSentry collector, so we're just going to go here, click add. We're going to call this EventSentry collector. We're going to make this global because really only machines that are running the EventSentry collector are going to see this event, so it doesn't even matter. It's not even that important to assign it. But of course, if you said, okay, I don't want to make this global, I just want to assign it to my EventSentry server, then you could do it just the same. The advantage of doing it this way, of course, is that computers that are not running the collector will never even see this package. And also, as explained in an earlier video, we could even make this automatically, have this package be assigned automatically with dynamic activation using the installed service. So now if we make this package global again, we can see it's green now. It's asking us, is recommended to make this package global? We're going to say yes. And so this is really great now. So now any computer that's running the EventSentry collector service is automatically going to get this package. Now let's go back to the application event log. We were looking at this event here from the collector event source 100. We're going to forward this event to the EventSentry collector package. We're going to say collector config refresh. And okay, what do we have here? So we have everything already pre-populated, just like we did earlier. There's one key difference to the other package is that there's no action selected. Of course, EventSentry needs to know, well, what do you want me to do with this event when I encounter it? And we're going to say, well, we're going to add it to the default email. We want to have an email sent. And that's really it. So now this package is going to be automatically assigned to any computer that's running the EventSentry collector service. It's going to process these rules, and if it encounters this event, it's going to send it to this email address. And when you're done, you have two ways to push out the configuration. In our case, if you look at the collector settings here, it says semi-automatic. So our collector is automatically sending out or pushing out configuration updates in the background. So we can simply go here, save and deploy. So now that's telling the collector, okay, I have a new configuration. Please send this out to all remote hosts. And that's all you have to do. If you don't have a collector, then you would want to go to the groups and hit the push configuration button.